Welcome to FRCmedia News for Thursday, November 4th, 2021. I'm Keith Tebow. Fall River voters go to the polls, and it was a good night for the incumbents. Mayor Coogan shares his first plans in spending federal ARPA money, and Fall River's two congressmen have differing views on how the city fits into congressional redistricting. All this and more coming up. Incumbents for mayor, city council, and school committee fared very well following this week's city election. Nearly 24% of eligible voters cast ballots. In the race for mayor, Mayor Paul Coogan earned a second term after defeating City Council President Cliff Ponte. The mayor earned 7,533 votes to Councilor Ponte's 4,654 votes. Addressing voters following the vote, Mayor Coogan attributed his victory to the city rallying against negative messaging.
The city of Fall River spoke very, very clearly and loudly tonight that you can take every negative thing you want to say. You can spin it, lift it up, kick it sideways, send it around. The city of Fall River rejects this kind of campaigning all the time. And you know, it is truly funny because I worked for so long at Durfee, and what goes on in there is very similar, but it's on a much smaller scale. But I want you to understand that when you hear this stuff, if you can walk through it and keep going forward and keep your eye on the prize, making Fall River a better place to live, then all that noise just is like in the rearview mirror. It just goes away. It goes away, and we don't need it.
Mayor Coogan said he had a productive call with Councilor Ponte after the vote and commits to working collaboratively to move the city forward.
I told him he was very gracious. I appreciated it. I said, but I sure would like to finish the last 2 months strong. We've got some things to do. We've got to come back together as a group and do what's best for the residents of this city right now. Going forward, we're going to rebuild our relationships with the council, the school committee, and do what's best for the city of Fall River.
During his concession, Councilor Ponte says he accepts the vote of the people, but feels he brought out concerns that still need to be addressed.
We have the foundation set for what I think is going to be a very special future. And I know that hopefully down the road, whatever opportunities come my way in political office, the next speech I give you is going to be a speech that we're winning. Because I believe that without a shadow of a doubt, that I brought the issues forward in this campaign. I told you what the future is going to be like a year from now or 2 years from now. And the people of this community are going to understand and realize that this was not an issues campaign. It was not about issues, it was about likability.
Ponte also said his public service career is not over.
I entered this race in early July, and I knew that I was going up against a very popular mayor, a likable mayor, somebody who was successful as an educator. I knew that. But I decided to enter this race because I felt that I could do a better job. Now, ultimately, that responsibility falls on the residents of this community to determine whether they think I'm the one who could do a better job, and tonight just wasn't our night. But tonight isn't over for me. I want you guys to know that. This isn't the end of Cliff Ponte running for political office. What this is the start of what I call something special. And coming into, let's see what the next year or so brings, I really enjoy being an elected official, I really enjoy helping people, and I really enjoy contributing to the community that I love so much. And my days certainly are not over, and I appreciate everything everybody here has done to help me achieve everything that I've achieved from my run on the city council to tonight.
In the race for city council, 7 incumbents earned re-election, with a former councilor returning along with 1 newcomer. Here's the vote count from Tuesday night. Linda Pereira topped the ballot with 5,704 votes. followed by Trot Lee at 5,542. Sean Kadim was third, 4,888 votes, followed by Brad Kilby's 4,437. Leo Pelletier was fifth, 4,369 votes, followed by Councilor Pam La Liberty LeBeau at 4,356 votes. Newcomer Andrew Raposo was seventh with 4,180 votes, followed by Joseph Camara, who will return to the council in eighth place, 3,965 votes, and rounding out the top nine and earning re-election, Michelle Dion at 3,867 votes. Just missing out on re-election, Councilor Christopher Peckham finished 10th at 3,667 votes. Laura Washington was next at 3,014 votes. Ricky Tith was 12th, 2,965 votes, followed by Paulo Amaral at 2,782 and Gabriel Amaral at 2,702 votes. Alexander Silver was next at 2,573 votes. Matthew Springer was 16th at 2,522 votes. Chrisanne Tyrell, 17th, 1,853. And Angel Pantoa Jr. rounded out the ticket with 1,537 votes. Here are some thoughts now on what lies ahead from incumbents Sean Kadim and Leo Pelletier.
We've got a lot of challenges, but we have a lot of incumbents who have gotten back into the city council and who brings a lot of experience and dedication to make sure that we address the issues that are facing Fall River, from public safety to education to the financial stability of the future. So I'm confident that we'll be able to come together as a group and work together as different bodies of government, both the legislative and executive branch.
Still a lot of work to be done on the waterfront and Route 79 that's coming in, and a lot of other issues that face the council, working with the mayor, and we're going to see what's going on. So thank you very much.
Newcomer Andrew Raposo said he feels blessed by the support from voters. The principal at Espirito Santo School also believes city government now needs to begin the process of collaboration.
It goes back to what I've said the entire campaign, building unity and team collaboration between the city council and the administration. I have spoken to a few of them already over the last night and tonight, and the message has been the same. Let's build a team together. Let's move the city forward. I think right now the budget is definitely something that we need to address because that's going to drive everything else. Public safety, education, transportation. We need to get the budget squared away.
There were only 3 incumbents on the ballot for school committee, and all 3 topped the ballot. Kevin Aguiar was on top with 6,313 votes, followed by Paul Hart at 5,354 and Mimi Larrabee at 5,230. The next 3 challengers all earned election. Shelley Pereira at 4,720 votes, Sarah Rodericks 4,086, and Bobby Bailey at 3,922. Melissa Costa Doyle finished 7th at 3,333 votes, followed by Colin Dias at 3,323, Charles Chase 2,633, and John Koleski 2,076 votes. Newcomer Sarah Roderick said she feels the success of her election hinged on being transparent and talking with as many parents and students as possible.
I really hope to push for a healthier community in general. And I think what we've got to do is look at the schools as one piece of the work that we do with our kids and our families, but then really look at the other community organizations as the other pieces, because our kids are only in school for 6, 7, 8 hours a day. What happens the rest of the time? So I'd love to be able to build those bridges and create a more cohesive nature about the way that we do things here. I would really love to push a heavier focus on our special education department. I feel like our kids often get sidelined, and so I'd like to spend some time really looking at the work that we're doing within special education and work towards creating a more inclusive community for all of our kids.
All those elected on Tuesday will begin serving right after the new year. In the waning hours of the campaign, Mayor Coogan also had to face the hospitalization of his wife, Judy, who suffered a horrific bicycle accident during a race last weekend in Mattapoisett. Judy St. Hilaire, a former Olympic athlete, suffered 2 broken collarbones, 12 broken ribs, and a punctured lung. She remains hospitalized at St. Luke's Hospital in New Bedford. Mayor Coogan says doctors expect Judy to make a full recovery following a lengthy rehabilitation.
She is a little better, definitely a little more snappy, so that means she's coming back. So, but she's still, she has a saying that she says, "I feel like I was crushed." And because whenever she coughs, there's like so many areas that hurt her. She says it's just painful. It's really, really bizarre situation. And I know you guys are all praying for her, and I am too.
One of the issues from the mayoral campaign was how the city will use money from the COVID American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA. Mayor Coogan on Friday announced the allocation of nearly $8.9 million in the ARPA funding for 3 city projects. The allocations were approved in consultation with the mayor's advisory panel charged with providing recommendations on how to spend nearly $69 million in ARPA funds the city is expected to receive by the middle of next year. $8.35 million will be spent on replacing 3.3 miles of water mains across the city. Paul Furland, administrator of community utilities, says the work will replace aging lead pipes while making much-needed street repairs.
We took into consideration many different things. We took into consideration the age and the condition of the water main on those streets, where the gas company was working, because they're doing a lot of impact within our city, so we like to coordinate with them. Streets that they're going to be working on, we like to work on at the same time, so that when we come back through and redo the street, pave the street, fix the curbing, fix the affected sidewalks, we're able to know that we're not going to be, no utility will be back in that street for a while.
Nearly $475,000 will be earmarked to the police department for a program called Operation Compass. Police Chief Jeffrey Cardoza says the first element of the program will see the implementation of more walking and bicycle patrols within city neighborhoods.
I am a huge proponent of that. There's a reason that I believe in that, is because so much of our success is dependent upon the information and the relationships that we create with the community. And you can't do that from inside a patrol car. That door or that patrol car actually acts as a barrier. So getting, as I've talked to the mayor many times about, in our council, city council, about getting people on foot and getting people out there on the bicycles, it works and it's very successful.
The second element of Operation Compass will be the purchase and installation of 50 security cameras and 20 radar speed displays across Fall River.
I can't stress enough how many crimes, how efficient and effective surveillance cameras has made us when we're trying to solve something as simple as a shoplifting or an armed robbery or a worst case scenario, a homicide. One of the first things that we do, the patrol officers do and detectives do, is they go to the cameras. And there are so many cameras out there now, out in the community now, which is a good thing. It's made us so much more successful. We'll be talking later. My agency will be releasing some information about a couple of robberies that we've just solved because of cameras. So I'm really, really thrilled about that. These are the type of tools that we need in our toolbox.
$75,000 will be spent to help bolster the return of the annual Children's Holiday Parade, sponsored by Greater Fall River Recreation. The 37th annual parade will take place Saturday, December 4th at 1 p.m., launching from Kennedy Park.
Since 2020, was a horrible year for the community and the kids. Not much was going on. We did have a smaller parade, which we called a ride-along, and it's very exciting to our agency, Recreation, to be able to work on this and to bring back some cheer and some happiness to the kids here in the city, and as well as their families. And we hope that the Greater Fall River community, Rhode Island, Connecticut folks, come down and come and see a fabulous parade that the city will put on.
Mayor Coogan says the city is in the process of formalizing an application process for eligible organizations to apply for future ARPA funding. Here's the latest now on COVID-19. Governor Charlie Baker announced today that the Pfizer vaccine for children ages 5 to 11 will be made available as early as Friday across the Commonwealth.
Over 500 locations to start will offer the Pfizer pediatric vaccine including pediatricians' offices, pharmacies, community health centers, hospitals, and community-based clinics that are sponsored by both the Commonwealth and by local boards of health. With this mixed model of providers, nearly every Massachusetts child lives within 30 minutes of a vaccine clinic. We understand many parents will want to talk to their family doctors and to their pediatricians about the vaccine. These medical efforts know that the vaccine is safe and has been proven to be highly effective, and they are well positioned to help parents understand the facts so that they can make the decision that's best for them to vaccinate their kids.
We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Store driver. WorldPAC seeks a part-time store driver to deliver and pick up auto parts from suppliers and customers in the Fall River area. Job number 157-28681. Assistant Director. KinderCare Education, located at 620 North Main Street, is looking for a full-time assistant director to assist teachers with the implementation of KinderCare's curriculum in a way that is consistent with the unique needs of each child. Job number 157-35594. HVAC Apprentice Technician. Triangle Refrigeration and AC, located at 425 Pleasant Street, is in need of a full-time HVAC apprentice technician to perform field activities associated with supporting the installation, maintenance, and servicing of heating, ventilating, and air conditioning systems for commercial customers. Job number 157-31770. Data and Quality Improvement Specialist. Deaconess Home, located at 603 Rock Street, is looking for a full-time Data and Quality Improvement Specialist. For more information, call 508-674-4847. St. Anne's Hospital, located at 795 Middle Street, has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. MRI Tech. Job number 157-31204. Nursing Assistant, job number 157-31245. For more information about these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. The state legislature this week came out with its plans to redraw Massachusetts' 9 congressional House districts. Currently, Fall River is split between the 4th District with Congressman Jake Auchincloss and the 9th District with Congressman Bill Keating. The redistricting plan calls for Fall River to be united under the 4th District and Congressman Auchincloss. During hearings on redistricting, many advocated Fall River would be better served in the district that also includes New Bedford. Congressman Keating said he was caught off guard by the announcement of Fall River's congressional fate and feels the region will suffer if the communities are split.
Their influence by being split in half, one community Fall River, one community New Bedford, will be diminished. And the ability to organize around important issues will be diminished. The effect on the Portuguese community will be diminished. Right now, in my district, we have the highest Portuguese American population of any district in the country. That will be diminished. So I want people to be aware of this. This isn't about me. It's not about any particular congressperson. This is a 10-year plan. This is a plan for a decade. And during that decade, instead of having the two cities together, where it would be a strong point of influence in any congressional district, what you will have is a split of those anchor communities. And there'll be about 1/8 of those communities in terms of their influence.
Congressman Auchincloss feels splitting Fall River from New Bedford will actually benefit the city.
I think having Fall River be the biggest city in the Massachusetts 4th and having its needs be defined by itself as a city rather than as part of a, subsumed into a larger regional issue where there are competing economic interests, is going to serve Fall River very well, regardless of who the representative is from the Massachusetts 4th. And I would just say broadly that socioeconomic, ideological, geographic diversity within a congressional district is a very healthy phenomenon. That is good. That makes the representatives better. And we see that as a commonality throughout most of the representative of the districts in Massachusetts.
There's a lot of pressure for the legislature to unify Fall River and New Bedford into one district. The legislature will be holding a public hearing on the new congressional maps later this month before seeking final approval in the House and Senate and enactment by Governor Charlie Baker. Any changes will take effect during congressional elections next year. Congressman Auchincloss and Keating agree and are excited to support whatever version of President Joe Biden's Build Back Better plan that comes up for a vote before the House.
Any single element of the Build Back Better agenda would be a triumph if passed by itself. Universal early education for 3- and 4-year-olds, expanding and strengthening the Affordable Care Act to reach more low-income Americans, tax credits to turbocharge our clean energy economy. Any one of those things by itself, $150 billion for more affordable housing, any one of those things by itself would be a massive achievement for any party in any given term. And we're going to do them all in 1 year with narrow margins.
What I'm looking forward to is this. People I talked with and most of the media, they're distinguishing what we're about to pass just with some dollar amount that's attached to it. They're saying, oh, well, that's the 3.5, and what about the 1.7? I think next week will be the beginning of people understanding what's in it. These are life-changing, transformative things that I've never seen in my lifetime, that people that have been there a lot longer than me have never seen in their lifetime. In fact, economists are saying if we're able to just get what we think we're going to get, that will be historic and something that's never been seen from Congress since the Roosevelt administration.
We'll wrap up FRC Media News right after this.
Hi, welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Carrie. That's Carrie with the C. She's right now she's having herself a little drink, but she is a short-haired calico mix. Very friendly cat. Still very young too. She's only a year old. She would make a great addition to your home if you're still looking for a young cat that still has a good amount of energy, but at the same time has many periods where she really just wants to come up, get cuddles, get some scratches behind the ear. She likes a good butt scratch, but they all do, don't they? She is housed right now in one of our communal rooms, so she is good with other cats. She gets along with them just fine. So if you'd like to meet Carrie, you can come down to 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts at Forever Paws Animal Shelter.
Today with us we have Buttons. She is about 2 years old. We're guessing she is a Chihuahua Dachshund mix. She's very friendly and outgoing. She would get along with kids. She gets along with other dogs. She can be housed with cats. She's very affectionate. She doesn't mind being carried, but she loves to walk and run. She would make a good walking buddy. She would probably benefit also in an active home, somebody to keep her stimulated. She's very playful and... Come here. Sit. Sit. Paw. Paw. One. Sit. Paw. Good girl. So if you want to come down and meet Buttons, I know she'd love to meet you. We are located at 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts. You can always call to make an appointment to come meet her. And also we have all of our information posted on our foreverpaws.com website. And we also have more of our adoptable animals on there as well.
That's all for this edition of FRC Media News. We continue to ask you to visit our website at frmedia.org, where you can find the latest news and information. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday.